Hey guys, my name is Nick. I'm a Tekken 7 Feng Wei player. This is the second part of my intermediate guide for Feng Wei and Tekken 8. If you haven't seen the first part, then I recommend you go watch it. But other than that, thank you so much for the comments. They've been helping me out a ton, so let's get this started. Okay, to start things off, we're going to talk about some moves off the rip of the match. Okay, so it goes 3, 2, 1. First of all, your back sway counter hit, where they crumple like this. This is a launcher. This is not just an opportunity for a forwards 3 or some stomp action. This is a launcher. I'll show you the combo. So you back sway for the counter hit. You run up down forwards 3, and then you can do a forwards 4-3 into shoulder. So huge damage, right? 70 damage off of an interaction off the start. So great move to use, you know, and this does not apply just for the start of the match. This is for at any point in your match. If you land a counter hit back sway, which is back forwards 1, then run up there and get that down forwards 3, and then do this combo. It looks like they're on the ground, right? When you do this back sway, it looks like they're done, but sure enough, you can scoop them up and get that sweet damage. So definitely a great tip to start things off. The next thing to cover is that your counter hit down back 3, which is a great move off the start of the game. You can down 3 to try and get their get up kick, but it's incredibly minus on block. You know, let's say we got that counter hit and we're doing the get up kick, but they blocked it. It's minus 26. So this can absolutely get you launched. If they have a 15 frame launcher, they have 11 frames to even think about using their 15 frame launcher. So while it is good, a much better alternative is to use down back out of back turned. And this will get you outside of their range of their wake-up kicks, where now you can do a climbing dragon for a full launcher. So let's set this guy up to do a wake-up low kick, like, you know, most people will do, and we'll have him standing. So we'll set up this situation, right? A counter hit down back 3, he's going to low kick. Okay, now instead of doing our down 3, which works, but, you know, if it gets blocked, we're in trouble here. So instead, we're going to do this. Check it out. We're going to hold down back. And look at that whiff, right? So if he did a mid kick or a low kick, it doesn't matter. So now let's do the full thing. Let's get a climbing dragon. And in the bottom left, you're going to see punish. And there we go. So a much better alternative to that down 3 is to use that evasive down back, and then hey, if they did a wake up kick, you are now free to do that climbing dragon combo. This won't, you know, this won't be the best move in every situation, because you could still do your 2, or you could do any of the other back turned options. We're gonna get into back turned options in this video. Boom, full climbing dragon combo instead of a down 3, which already has the tornado used, so the combo is smaller. Your climbing dragon, full damage. And then last thing I wanted to touch on for moves off the start is just his up forwards 2. This is another great move to use off the rip if people are going to be using their strong launchers right at the beginning. You know, if it's a linear move and you want to press buttons off the rip, this up forwards 2 is another great option. In general, across the board, this up forwards 2 is so strong. It really shuts out and snuffs so many options from the opponent. Off the rip, it can be a great move as well. Not many homing moves are being thrown out in the beginning. Okay, now let's transition from those off-the-rip moves and let's come back to a neutral state, okay? So we're just going to cover a little bit more options here and also just update some new information. So 3 into 4, let's start with that one. We considered this a YOLO option in the last video. So it is minus 7 on block. Let's set him up to block all, and let's not have him punish anything. Go ahead and block all. Okay, so 3 into 4. It's minus 7 on block. If you back turn this option, which it can be back turned, then it becomes minus 2, which is much better. And, you know, back turned is a very strong stance to be in. So 3 into 4 can be back turned. And what this allows you to do, let's set him up to punish now. He's going to do that punish. Hi, James. Is you can now do an armored 2 after that. Right? So we're away in neutral. We're looking to get in on him. We'll do a 3 into 4, and we'll back turn it and hit our armored 2. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, here we go. Pretty strong, right? So another great way to get in there is to back turn that, which makes it safer, and you're able to use some more options out of there. Continuing on with these kind of engager options, your 4-3, which we had talked about being a good engager tool. This on counter hit has a small combo after it. Okay, I think, yeah, this will set it up. So here we go. We're going to 4-3 on counter hit, and then we're going to down 4, back 4, and then shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to do that all quickly. Here we go. 51 damage off of, you know, what would have potentially just been a 30 damage hit. So there you go. Let's talk about back turned options. I gave you, you know, the down 3 and the armored 2 and the 1+2. But first I want to talk about this down back option, which is just strong in general. If you ever find yourself just back turned in neutral off of a move, you know, that you whiffed, holding down back is a pretty great option at a lot of different times. It's just very evasive. It sets you up for using while rising moves, like his, you know, rising 1-3, or any of his moves, his launcher. If they came in on you quickly, then you do his 3. So just a good option that isn't always apparent, but, you know, it's a pretty evasive move to hold down back out of back turned. Just another move you have out of back turned I didn't mention last time is that he has a down 1, which is kind of his back Kempo one. It's not the strongest option, but I do want to say, you know how I like to do the down 1 into the standing command grab. Now, I recommended a down 4 for those situations, but actually, a down forwards 3 is seeming like a much better option. So check it out. We could either do this with the back turned down 1, so let's do that. We're going to do the command grab, and then we're going to do a down forwards 3 instead of the down 4. So here it comes. We're going to do the command grab, and now I'm going to do the down forwards 3. Since he does a wake up kick, he gets tornadoed off of that. And this isn't the best combo, but you know, there's 61 damage. It's good damage. Okay, let's see some of the other options for him. So that was him doing a wake up kick. But what happens if he side rolls? Okay, so here we go. We're just going to do the command grab now. And we're going to do that down forwards 3 if he side rolls. It hits, right? And it's 16 damage, whereas the down 4 is like 5 damage. It's almost nothing, 7 damage. So yeah, after you command grab someone, like after what, like a down back 3 and then a command grab, hit that down forwards 3. It's feeling pretty good. There's not many options he can do to like. Okay, and then if he wakes up backwards, let's try this. So we command grab, we down forwards 3. It's a wow. So if he gets up backwards, he's getting tornadoed. Okay, what's the last one? Let's do his stand up. I think it should be the same. So we're gonna command grab. We're gonna down forwards 3, and it gets blocked. Wake up backwards gets hit. Side roll gets hit. Any of the wake up kicks get hit. So yeah, there you go. Strong option. Okay, next big move out of back turned is his jab. This one press puts you at plus 14. And guess what? Your shoulder is 13 frames. So this back turned jab is incredibly powerful. If you land it on hit or on counter hit, you get a guaranteed shoulder. There it is. So another extremely strong option. You know, anytime you find yourself in back turned, whether it's from a counter hit down back 3 or it is your, you know, 3-4, anytime you're back turned, this is a great option. Jab, shoulder. You know, it seems like a very just harmless jab, right? But this is not like your run-of-the-mill jab. This is a plus 14 on a hit, guaranteed shoulder, heat engage. So another great option to keep a lookout for with back turned. Next, let's talk about his grab, which is 1+4. Feng Wei has a back-turned grab, and this does 45 damage. His command grab does 40 damage, which is more than a regular throw, which is 35. So, regular throw, 35. Command grab, which is his up forwards 1+2, is 40 damage. This back-turned 1+4, which is kind of tricky buttons, right? 1+4 is 45 damage. And just to complete this circle, if the most damaging throw he has, and I think anyone has, is when you're behind someone and you do any kind of standard throw, it'll do 50 damage. But anyways, another back-turned option, 1+4. And now you can see all the pieces coming together, right? How strong his back-turned is. He has the down 3. He has the armored 2. He has the quick 1+2. He has the jab into shoulder. He has the grab game, right? So you can get them ducking if they don't want to get grabbed, or if they don't want to get that jab into shoulder, and then once they're ducking, you can hit them with the 2, you can hit them with the 1+2. So his back turn, incredibly strong. I just told you about his jab into shoulder, I told you about his down back to be evasive, and I told you about his grab, 1+4. In Tekken 7, Feng's back turned hop kick was a launcher for a full combo. It was just like a normal hop kick, but in this game it got nerfed, so it's no longer a combo at all, but it is a wall splat. So here, I'll set us up with a restart at wall, and you'll just see that if you're back turned, you can wall splat with this move. Okay, so I believe the wall splat combo would look something like this. 55 damage. So, yeah, how else can you wall splat out of back turned? I don't think there's really any. So I think that's kind of what makes it unique, right? This, I believe, would be a wall splat. It's your armored 2. But that's about it. So, hey, you got your hop kick if you're looking to wall splat someone. And don't worry, we've got a whole wall and combo section coming, so hang in there. Moving on, I want to talk about Feng Wei's plus on block attacks. His attacks that, when they're blocked, leave him with plus frames, he has the advantage, and he can act first. And we'll start with the highest amount of plus frame moves, and then we'll work our way down to like the +1s. So here we go. First move is his forwards 3. 32 frame move, it is +8. So that's our highest plus on block move. And the same thing can be done out of back turn just by hitting 3. It's the same move. 32 frames, +8. The next one is his back 3. This move leaves him at +6. This move is so good. This move is so strong. So that is a quick move, 22 frames, puts him at +6. From there, we get our +3 moves. His +3 moves are his sidestep 2, which leaves him in back turned, as well as his shifting clouds 3, which also leaves him in back turned. Now, both of these +3 moves in back turned, like we talked about, have the jab into shoulder built in as a frame trap. And we're going to cover frame traps next, but hang in with me here. So just keep in mind those two +3 moves, sidestep 2, as well as shifting clouds 3, they're going to be powerful if you can implement them into your game. Okay, so those were the two +3 frame moves, both leaving you in back turned, which is kind of interesting. And then we go to his +2 frame on block, which is his up 2. Again, you are at advantage, you get to act first after landing an up 2. And now onto his +1s, we have his sidestep 1+2 and his jab. His jab, just his standard jab, puts him at +1. And hey, if we want to go on to 0, you know, then we have his down forwards 1, as well as his quarter circle forwards 1+2. And now that we've covered those options, we can get into frame traps. Frame traps are extremely powerful. They're moves that, because they're plus on block, they guarantee an interaction if your opponent presses a button. We'll start with his back 3. The first one we'll do is his hop kick. So because this is a +6 move, our 15 frame hop kick now becomes a 9 frame move. Because it's a 9 frame move, it will beat the jab. So let's play this out. We're going to back 3 and then hop kick immediately after. And he gets launched. And you get a full combo. So you apply this by, you know, getting pressure. And then once you can land that back 3 in your gameplay, that's where you fit in that hop kick directly after if you feel like they're not respecting your plus frames. You know, some smart players, or not even just smart, but any players, might continue to hold block when they see plus frame moves being thrown out. But if they're jabbing, if they're responding after these plus frame moves, that's where you can throw out that hop kick for a frame trap and catch them. The next frame trap off of his back 3 is his shoulder. While it can get you a heat engager, it's more minus on block, so it's -19, but whereas the hop kick is -13. But this last one is very powerful. It is his forwards 2-1-2. So we're going to back 3, And then let's look at the frame. So the forwards 2 is 15 frames, just like the hop kick, which means that's going to be a 9-frame move after this back 3, which is +6. And here's where it gets cool. You can hit confirm this forwards 2-1-2, right? It's delayable. It has 3 buttons to press. So you can back 3 and then you could do the forwards 2. And if it's going well, you do the 1-2. And this is 50 damage. So let's play it out. We're going to back 3, 2-1-2. 50 damage. Whereas the hop kick, you could argue you could get upwards of like 70 damage. But this is like hit confirmable. If this continued to get blocked, let's see what that looks like. Block all. And we're going to do the back 3, 2, 1. And we could like stop it there at -8 on the second hit, right? So a very powerful option. I need to implement this into my game. So there you go. 3 frame traps out of his back 3. You've got the hop kick. You've got the shoulder. And you have the very versatile, very safe forwards 2-1-2 after hitting the back 3. And just so you know, his forwards 3 also gets all 3 of those frame traps. So a forwards 3 into hop kick would get the same result. It's just that the back 3 is a faster move that you'd probably find yourself using more often in your fights. But, you know, his back turned 3 would also get this hop kick frame trap, assuming they press a button immediately after the first block. We talked about his sidestep 2, putting him into back turned and being +3 on block. And we talked about his shifting clouds 3, which is +3 on block and puts him into back turned as well. Same properties. Both of these moves have a frame trap in the form of jab shoulder. So let's try it out. First, we'll start with the sidestep 2, and immediately after that, we're going to jab shoulder. So sidestep 2, jab shoulder. And this is guaranteed, you know, as a frame trap if they try to attack after that sidestep 2. And the same thing applies for his shifting clouds 3, jab shoulder. And you can see it says combo, so that is guaranteed if they responded after that shifting clouds 3. His up 2, which is +2 frames, doesn't have many frame traps to kind of go over, but since you're putting them in crouch, their while standing ones are usually like, yeah, 13 frames or so. So if we do up 2 into what I found, down forwards 1, up 2, down forwards 1, you could get a counter hit there. And if you think about how it works, it's +2 and your down forwards 1 is 14 frames, so now it's a 12 frame move. You're beating out this while standing 1 being 13 frames. So up 2, down forwards 1 could be a good one. And then of course just his back 1 for this range of like +2 to +1 to 0. So we're gonna up 2 into back 1 and we get that shoulder. And lastly, we have his +1 moves. So that was his sidestep 1 +2. You get a back 1 if they respond, and then you can get the shoulder. So sidestep 1 +2, back 1, shoulder. And also just his jab. You know, his jab, you can just back 1 off of his jab and fish. And then for his 0 moves, like down forwards 1 and quarter circle forwards 1 +2, you can back 1 out of both of those. Now, if you both jab, you'll trade, but you should know on Feng Wei that even if you trade a jab, you can still get the shoulder. So I'll demonstrate that. Right? So just because the camera zooms in, you know, just stay calm, go in there, and get your guaranteed shoulder. The same can be done from his quarter circle forwards 1 +2. But, you know, they'll have a harder time getting that unless they do a crouching jab. Let's go over some moves and strings that get you into back turned. We covered a lot of options that make you powerful out of back turned. So now, how do we get into back turned? If you didn't know, you can just hold back and then hit 3-4, and that puts you into back turned. Hold back, hit 3-4, like quickly, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. And then, you know, you just do those quickly, like just like that. You can see my frame counter on the left. I hit left for 2 frames, and then I hit 3-4. So 3-4. So that's just a way to get into back turned. Okay, moves to get into back turned. We have 1-2-2, hold back. We have 3-3-4, hold back. We have 3-4, hold back. Forwards 4, hold back. I'll see a lot of really good Feng Wei players on YouTube who are throwing forward 4s out to fish for that launcher, but they're also entering the back turn state and then doing the down back. Just a lot of them, right? Just threatening with it as a keep out tool, right? We have our keep out tools, but it just seems very strong. This one I really like, and I've been using it in games. It's 2-4-1 holdback. The last one gets canceled of this 2-4-1 string. This is strong. This just feels strong because they really are expecting a last hit. And here's where like you could do a grab, a 1-4, you know, 2-4-1 back turned, 1-4 grab, 45 damage, big chunk of their health bar gone. 2-4-1, and then you hit the jab into shoulder, right? So 2-4-1, very strong. Then we have your sidestep 2, which is that +3 move where you can do your jab into shoulder frame trap, but you can also just sidestep into 2 and then stand there menacingly and then, you know, choose any of your options, whether it's the grab or anything. And we had our shifting clouds 3, which will put you into back turned. Here's where things get interesting. We have our down forwards 4. This move is tricky and it has a 1 extension if we want to use that. So we hold down forwards, we hit 4-1. So that move was a Tekken 7 move and it had a different input and it was used to like scoop up low combos, but now it's a different input. It's locked into your like your full crouch move set, but we get to use it out of quarter circle forwards. And this can be a super tricky move to use out in the neutral, right? Because you can come in here and do one of these, be back turned, and from there again, anytime you're back turned, you should kind of feel like you're at an advantage. And that leads us into our quarter circle forwards section. I looked in the move list. This is called Lingering Shadow. I think that sounds pretty cool. I called it Wave Dash before. Wave Dash isn't a good word for it, even though it's kind of universal. I'll go with Lingering Shadow. Hell, why not? Okay, so Lingering Shadow. I covered Landslide and I covered Mountain Crusher. That's his 1 and his 2. But I didn't really cover his Headbutt, which is the 1+2. So Lingering Shadow into 1+2. And this puts you at 0 on block, which is pretty unique. Only his down forwards 1 will do that, which sets up for the back 1. So just another thing to think about with his Lingering Shadow, quarter circle forwards, is that you could mix up with like 2 landslides. And then if you didn't want to do an unsafe -14 mid, then you could do the headbutt to try and get him hit. And on hit, this will just kind of put him into crouch, but on counter hit, it'll actually put him on the floor for a guaranteed stomp. And you can see we have him set to roll, but that stomp is guaranteed on this hit. I don't think you can get a forwards 3. Let's try. Looks like you can. So very strong option for sure. Especially, you know, we're out here in neutral. You're using, I use 2 to get in a lot of times. You know, I'll do 1, I'll do 2. You could even like come back after that, see if they whiff. But yeah, when we're out here, like this is a great way to get in. And I want to talk more about it because his wall rising moves, we have his access to all of his wall rising moves out of this Lingering Shadow. So the way to get them is to go down and then down forwards, and not forwards, down and then down forwards in one motion, right? And I'm just holding down forwards to kind of emphasize that. And then to get the rising moves, we let go and then press the button, right? It's tricky. It takes some getting used to. I'm guilty of not using this enough in my Feng Wei gameplay. A lot of high rank Fangs are using this Lingering Shadow with his wall rising 1 because it's -3, right? Or it's +3 on block, +3 on hit, but on block it is safe, right? You're getting in, you're -3. You know, if your attempt failed, but you also have like your 1-3, right? It puts him into crouch, and on counter hit, it puts him on the ground. So let's do that. Let's have him block, and then let's have him punish. So we're gonna Lingering Shadow in, which is down, down forwards, right? Down, down forwards. So I'm gonna release down and forwards at the same time. I don't want a forwards input. And then shortly after, I'm gonna hit 1-3. Here we go. It puts him on the ground, right? And I can get a stomp off of that. Maybe we can do the forwards 3. Let's see. So that definitely hits. And then this one. It hits. So very strong option, right? You're out here in the neutral. We talked about running in with the 1-2. We talked about our like YOLO options to get in, but this quarter circle forwards, you know, we had our landslide, we had our mountain crusher, but these are minus 14 moves, you know, they're effective, don't get me wrong, but to really elevate our gameplay, we gotta start thinking about using this lingering shadow while standing moves, right? You could get access to your 15 frame launcher, right? So you gotta be a little closer for that one, but if you see a good opportunity to go in, then boom, you get your launcher there. It's something to experiment with. You don't want to get accidental landslide hits when you're trying to do while standing moves, and you don't want to do the opposite, right? So I would recommend coming into the training ground and really training your brain to be able to get the intended moves you want out of this lingering shadow, which is such a great tool for Feng Wei. So definitely practice, right? And I think I explained it as best as I can. When you're doing the landslide, you're holding towards your opponent, right? You have to hold towards your opponent to hit them, to get that move to come out. To do the mountain crusher, you have to hold towards them, right? And then for the while rising moves, you have to stop at the down towards, and you have to release and then press the button. If I just do down towards and hit the button, that's what it looks like. If I'm just holding it, you have to release and then press the button. Okay? Just one more thing out of his like crouching options is his down forwards 2, which is a launcher. So I'm gonna put him just to be hit. So his down forwards 2. This is a launcher, and it's an interesting one because you can get access to it from his lingering shadow. You just need to stay down there for a second or two, right? His mountain crusher, it's a 22 frame, whereas this one is 18. So technically this one's faster in terms of frames, but you have to kind of stay down here for a second before, if I do it too fast, this is what it looks like. It's a special low, which can be blocked by crouching or stand blocking. I'm actually curious. That's what a special low is, right? Yeah. Huh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so that's why even though it's 18 frames and it's like faster, it's kind of the same, right? Let's have him get hit again. Okay, so we lingering shadow in, we hit 2. Okay, that's a launcher. What I've noticed about this launcher is that it can get you off axis at times. So I'm going to try the combo here. Here we go. So I feel like that should have hit, right? That last 1+2 should have hit. So here's what I do. And I mean, this is pretty niche, you guys, but so what I've found for this launcher is that once you do the tornado, you have to do a micro sidestep to the left, and then you can actually get that finisher. There might be other combo routes, but let's see what this looks like. So there you go. I did a micro sidestep to the left, and you can probably see it in the command history. So I think it's up to us to kind of incorporate some of these while standing moves to get into our gameplay. And another great one is his while rising 1-2. It looks like that. You know, his wall, let's put him on block. Block all. His wall rising 1 is -3, so it's safe. Like you could come in here and do that and then hold block and try and get your turn back. But his 1-2 is -12, so it's unsafe, but like you're kind of going for it at that point. You know, you come out here, you have some space, you come in, you're going for it, you hit the 1-2, shit, you're -12. That's where his 1-2-1 out of wall rising, it's a counter hit. Okay, so I'm gonna just do it as far away as I can here. His rising 1-2-1. Now this is delayable. I'm gonna do it as fast as I can. And now I'm going to delay it as much as I can. That one was delayed. See? Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, right? So let's have him punish. And now, what's he going to do? He's going to, yeah, just a jab. So now we're going to do it as fast as we can. So the bot blocks the entire string. He doesn't even see an opening to use a jab, right? But now we're going to delay that one, the final one. And there you get the shoulder. So this is just like a back one, right? So very strong, you guys. I think we owe it to ourselves to not only use landslides and mountain crushers, but to also work in some of this wall rising 1, some of this wall rising 1-3, some of this wall rising 1-2-1 into shoulder, as well as the very powerful down forwards 4, right? Into back turned. This is super strong, okay? So I'm going to start incorporating it more into my gameplay. I recommend you try and do the same. This seems like it can definitely elevate your gameplay. You have access to a lot of moves with a lot of different properties. Now these last 2 moves out of Lingering Shadows are going to set us up perfectly into the next section. It's his Wall Rising 4 and his Wall Rising 2. You'll see that they're both -7. Wall Rising 2, Wall Rising 4. So, it's time to talk about Sabakis. Feng's 1+2. This move looks kind of inconspicuous, right? But this is a killer. This move is an absolute killer. It is a punch parry, which leads into a guaranteed shoulder. So let's have him punish. Okay, he's going to be using a punch. That's the most important thing here. It doesn't have to be just a jab, but a punch. His limbs, his top 2 limbs. It cannot be a kick. You cannot Sabaki a kick. Let's see what it looks like, okay? I'm going to jab, and I'm just going to time it. That's the animation. He kind of pushes the hand away and hits them with that hit, and I believe, let's see what the frames look like. You're +14, and guess what? Your shoulder is 13 frames, so that's a guaranteed shoulder. So this is kind of what it looks like. And there you go, heat engager. So, landing this Sabaki is tricky. Like, just out in the open, like, you know, trying to, like, time it, it's not the easiest thing. If you're out here in neutral and you're trying to get in and stuff, and you're trying to catch a punch with the Sabaki, that's not the way to do it. The way we remedy this problem is by setting up situations where the Sabaki is guaranteed to land. It's like a frame trap, but it's tuned for the Sabaki. We don't have to have plus frames. We kind of want the punch to be coming towards us at this point. So the range these work at is -8 and kind of below. So -8, -7, -6. We're going to go through a list of moves that will immediately go into a Sabaki setup if the opponent uses a punch directly after. So one of Feng's most famous ones is his down forwards 2-2. On block, this is -6. So that falls into our category of -8, -7, -6. I think -5 will work. So what do we do after down forwards 2-2? We're going to hit 1+2 directly after. So let's set him up to punish again. And here we go. And boom, we get a guaranteed shoulder, right? That was 41 damage just off of getting a blocked down forwards 2-2. And, you know, we're expecting a jab from the opponent to try and get their turn back. So very strong, okay? At the wall, this down forwards 2-2 is a wall splat, so it's good to pressure with this move, and if they block, throw out the Sabaki. Just every time you get a blocked down forwards 2-2, throw out the Sabaki. It's really going to take a while for you rising the ranks for you to find people who are aware of these setups. Oh, right, we talked about the wall rising 2 and the wall rising 4, which are both -7, and that falls into the category, -8, -7, -6. So, they're Sabakis, okay? So, wall rising 2. There we go, and wall rising 4. And there you go. Next up is his down back 2-2-2. It's this move. If the third hit gets blocked, and we can just kind of set this up like this, we are -8, and that is good to go for a Sabaki setup. It's hard for me to show this because I can't have the bot, you know, punish after this. If I had a punish set up right now, then he would do this, right? So, in these situations, this is kind of just like a practice tip. if you find yourself in this situation where like this strange interaction is happening, you can try flipping the script, put him on defense, record him doing the down back 222 into Sabaki, right? So we're going to try that now. I'm going to start recording, down back 222, Sabaki. Okay, and now let's hit yes. Hi, James. And we're going to play it back. And I'm going to block the down back 222 and then try to punch, okay? Just to prove that this Sabaki setup works. So here we go. And there we go. So yeah, down back 222 on block is a Sabaki setup. Next move, down forwards 3. This move is -7. Good to go. Some weird ones that I found while recording are his up forwards 3+4. This is a strange move. So up forwards 3+4 into 3. Now on block, this is -6. It's good to go for a Sabaki. Like this. Sabaki. Play it back. And I block. And punch. Get Sabaki'd. Almost done here with the list of moves I know that are Sabaki setups. His back Kempo 3+4. This move on block is -7. And that falls in our category. And here's where, if you didn't know, we have the 1+2 Sabaki. We also have a while standing Sabaki. That's what it looks like. Let's see. It is a 23 frame, 24, 23 and 24. And then this is a 21, 22. I'm going to back Kempo 3+4 into standing Sabaki. And boom, another setup, right? So this one also works. This move can also be accessed with down back 1, 2, 4. Look at that. That is my list of Sabaki setup moves. If you find more or if you're aware of other setups, then comment them. I want to know about them, and so does the community. These Sabaki setups are used like in the neutral, you know, when you're fighting and one of your moves gets blocked, you can just throw out that Sabaki. It is -13, so if you guess incorrectly, then, you know, you're getting punished for it. But chances are they're trying to flip the script. You know, you are minus, so in their head, it's their turn, right? And just to go over the list again, we got the while standing 2, while standing 4, down forwards 2-2, down back 2-2-2, down forwards 3, up forwards 3+4, 3, back Kempo 3+4, and the down back 1-2-4. All these moves are -8, -7, -6. So please, if you find more setups, let me know. Now I'd like to cover some moves that I just didn't go over in the last intermediate guide. And the first one I want to go over is an incredibly versatile tool. It's his down back 1. Down back 1 has many extensions. Let's just start going through them. Down back 1-4. It will launch the opponent, not launch them for a combo, it will knock down your opponent, and like this will also wall splat, and it's a great get off me tool. This first hit is a mid, so if they're crouching, it'll get them, and then hit them away. I see some very good Tekken players who are doing this. Yeah, they're ducking the 4. They see the down back 1, and they duck because this is the most common option that Feng Wei players use, is down back 1-4. So they'll duck this and punish, like launch or some kind of damaging hit. It's not often, but you might see this. You might see that because they see the down back 1 come out, then they'll duck to try and get the punish. It doesn't take away from how good of a move this down back 1-4 is. So when they're ducking, what do? We have our other extension out of down back 1, which is his down back 1-2. It's a mid into a mid, right? So now if they duck, they're getting hit by this mid. And there's one more extension, and I think we've kind of covered it. It's down back 1-2-4. And there's even one more. You can hit 3+4 while you're on the ground. So down back 1-2-4. And hitting 3+4 just does that get a pop kick. But keep in mind that this is also our Sabaki setup. If they block this full thing, then we'll be -7, and we can do our rising Sabaki. So anyways, down back 1-4, down back 1-2-4, and now we're going to continue how, you know, incredibly versatile this down back 1 is. You can transfer into back Kempo or shifting clouds with this down back 1 by holding back or forwards after the down back 1 connects. So down back 1 hold back and down back 1 hold forwards. This requires a lot of labbing and, you know, trying things out to see how you like to do his back Kempo and shifting clouds out of this move, right? Like, you could do a launcher there, but you could also, one that I like is just down back 1, pull back 1. But, you know, tons of options here. Go for the heat engager, anything you want. Down back 1 forwards. Get that frame trap we just talked about, right? So it would be down back 1, hold shifting clouds, and then in shifting clouds we're going to 3, and then jab, and then shoulder. There's so much to experiment here with this down back 1 into the different stances. So very versatile move, this down back 1. I use this move a lot. I just failed to mention it in the last video, but it's a good, you know, this is not like a keep out tool necessarily. You are like, you're fighting the opponent. You're throwing your jabs, you're throwing your back 4s, you're throwing your down forward 1s. You could throw, right? It's a 16 frame move, so it's not the slowest move, you know. Great move. Another hit, just I didn't really cover in the last video, was just his 1-1. 1-1 is a counter hit. So you're kind of baiting for counter hits. So you have your jab, you have your 1-2, but you also have 1-1. And this, let's set him up to punish. 1-1. And this 1-1, this is not like a guaranteed shoulder, you know. This is like a full combo. You can see how he crumpled. I mean, it is a guaranteed shoulder, but I'm just saying you can get a full combo. And so here's what the combo looks like. So 1-1, very strong, you know, bait out that counter hit. If you want an easier combo route, you could always do my favorite, tried and true, with the 3-3. But it does a little less damage. Next up, I think it's worth knowing your 10-hit combo. Feng starts with his 1-1. It looks like this. It's in those situations where your opponent is just button pressing and they don't really seem like they have an idea of how the back and forth of this game works. You can just assault them with 10 moves. And good players will be blocking this and then they'll look for your low hits and parry it. This happens a surprising amount, you know, so, you know, it feels powerful to throw out all these moves, but like on those low hits, they're going to parry you or, you know, they'll find a way to punish it. But, you know, you can get some value out of your 10 hit combo. And also just in high pressure situations, even the best of players, let's say they're kind of low on health, you can absolutely pressure them with all these moves, you know. And then there's another 10 hit combo variant it might be worth learning. Next move, down 2. Just a simple move that I didn't really cover last time. It crushes highs and mids. It doesn't like get you plus frames on hit. It's actually -1, so it's kind of the opponent's turn. But it just smacks their toes, right? It just absolutely smacks their toes. So the idea is you're kind of like pressuring in their face, and then you hit a down 2. Like your other lows are considerably more projected, right? Like your down back 2-2, you just start going fucking crazy. Your down back 3, you know, you lunge in like an arrow, right? You're going low. Your landslide, you're obviously going low. But this down 2, it looks like a mid, right? So that's why it's pretty strong. And this will crush highs. You know, the highs will go right over you, and certain mids in this game all have varying heights. So this down 2 will crush some mids, but strong tool, right? You're up in their face. You can mix in that down 2. Kind of an oddball move here, but shouldn't be overlooked, is down back 1+2 into 2. This is a mid into a low. So it's almost like you're down 2, but it's just a small string. So down back 1+2 into 2. I like throwing this string out. When I've kind of exhausted all my other strings, this string, and you know, this string, and this string, you know, when I've kind of exhausted a lot of those options, I don't know, I'll throw out down back 1+2 into 2. You know, that low hit is very rarely getting blocked. It doesn't give you anything special, like you're -1, just like you're down 2. But yeah, the way to get some good damage in. Just a weird move he has is his up back 2. If you know the purpose for this move, then let me know, because I want to know what the purpose for this move is. Just an interesting mid-high double hit. All you have to do is hit up back 2. So, just so you know it exists, please tell me the purpose of this move. His up 2 is a leaping strike, and it puts you at +2, and we talked about how you can kind of do a down forwards 1 frame trap or a back 1 frames trap. But on hit, you actually get a small combo. So the combo is just his jab string. So I would do 1-3, or actually 1-2-2, I believe is guaranteed. So up 2, 1-2-2. Up 2, 1-2-2. Yeah, 4-hit combo, 51 damage. That's very considerable damage. So if you use this up 2 to kind of get your plus frames, but if you hit, then hey, hit a 1-2-2 for free. And you could back turn this too, right? So you up 2, 1-2-2 back turned, and now you can do like your jab, shoulder, or you could do your grab, so up 2, 1-2-2 back turned, grab. Oh, and look at the damage, right? So you just did 45 plus 51. You're doing big boy damage. And the reason that works again is because your up 2 is +10 on hit, right? That's why your jab is guaranteed. All right, we've got his unblockable up, back, 1+2. Bam! Big damage. 70 damage. And if you have, like, rage and it's a counter hit, then this does insane damage. Look at the health bar. 92 damage. I have landed this in a match before. I have landed a counter hit rage. I did an up, back, 1+2. And their health bar just deleted. It was gone. This is a trolling move, but it's fun to do in like player matches and stuff. If you just want to style on your opponent, they're at the wall and they're panicking or something, then yeah, you can throw out this move. Forwards 2 is a heat engager, and it's also just a great poking tool in neutral. So I'm going to put him to block all and get some space. Forwards 2. Look at the range on that. Pretty good range, right? You can see his fists kind of shoot out there. And it has that glow effect just like his other heat engager moves, right? You can kind of see the heat on there. So yeah, great poke tool. You can space this well, right? You can space it. If you're up here in their face, then it's not as effective as if you were to use it out here at range to fish and try and get your heat engager kind of for free, right? From distance. And remember that, like, if you get a heat engager off of a move, then you get your full heat bar. Whereas if you just engage with a chop, then you lose a significant amount of your heat. So I think what we're talking about is the range, and he kind of comes back afterwards. And last move for this section, I want to talk about this 3 into 1+2. I'm using this to like end my combos quite a bit, but in neutral, I'll use this move and I'll charge up the 1+2, which if you didn't know you can do. This breaks people's brains, right? I think it breaks anyone's brains. When someone's charging a move, your brain goes, I'm blocking. Oh, he's charging. I could jab him. Should I jab him? I should hold block. I could jab him. And they freak out. So 3 and hold 1+2. Really strong. I'm getting like counter hits on this, because they freak out. And if they block, then, it's like pretty good on block. Let's check it out. You are +7, you have some room to work with there. But if they don't block, then yeah, they get launched like pretty far away. It does 35 damage. And if this is a counter hit, like if they freak out, then it does 42 damage. So from 35 to 42. And from what I've been finding is that they freak out. They, when this thing's charging, they try to jab me out of it or something. But it's too late. It's too late. So hey, that's another tool to use, when you're doing your pressure. 3 charged 1+2. Try it out. Let's touch on Feng's shifting clouds and back Kempo. So something special about them is that they can be chained into each other. And the way you do this is you hold the opposite direction. So if I do a back Kempo, I can hold forwards to enter shifting clouds. So I'm going to back Kempo, hold forwards. See that? And the opposite is true. I'll shifting clouds and then hold back. And if you see it does that little hand movement, that means that his back Kempo moves are now available. So this adds a whole layer of complexity to his stance game, right? So if I like my back Kempo 1, I can use it out of shifting clouds. I just have to hold back and then hit 1. right? So it's shifting clouds, hold back 1. And if I like his foot stomp out of shifting clouds 4, I can use that from back Kempo, right? I back Kempo, hold forwards, and then hit 4. And then another layer on top of this is down back 1, and then you hold back, right? So down back 1, hold back, hold forwards 1. It gets crazy. I could do my back Kempo launcher by doing down back 1, hold forwards, hold back, and then 3. Look at that. So the sky is the limit here for how much you want to lab these interactions or your preferred moves. Like, you know, we have our shifting clouds 3 for our frame trap. So you could do like back Kempo into shifting clouds 3, 1, shoulder, you know. And then just one more thing is that his shifting clouds as a punch parry is actually really good. I kind of slept on it, but this move is good. I used to think that it takes 3 hits to fully convert and get a launcher, but it's just 2. So I have Feng Wei here set to do just his 1-2. So I'm going to crouch and then 1-2, just to let me know that it's coming. And I'm going to shifting clouds into that. And from that launcher, there's a couple different ways to go. I'll show you 3 of them. So here we go. First one is the easiest one. This one's a little harder. And then this one is the hardest, but the most damage, and it requires a micro sidestep left again to get back on axis. So let's try it out. There we go, 84 damage. So it's up to you to decide which of these combos you want to go for after you get that launcher from the shifting clouds. And what's cool is that right now we have Feng doing his 1-2, which are both highs, but this works for mid punches as well. And this is something I didn't really realize. So let's do, instead of 1-2, we're going to do crouch and then his down forwards 2-2, which is 2 mids, right? And this intercepts it. So let's play this back. Same deal. So mids and highs, it's basically, yeah, like a punch parry, kind of like a Sabaki. So don't sleep on this move like I did. You know, I've started to use it more in games, and like when a Steve is assaulting me or like a Devil Jin is just throwing out tons of highs and mid punches, hey, shifting clouds, man, can be great. And remember, you can get here out of back Kempo, you could go into shifting clouds, or you could down back 1 into shifting clouds, you could down back 1 into back Kempo into shifting clouds. So get creative out there. This is a launcher. It's finally time to start talking about combos and combo routes. So I've learned some since the last time I recorded, and this is a topic where I'd prefer you go find other creators because they have done extensive testing on how to min-max damage, but I'm here to show you some great ones and also some of his most damaging ones. A note for practicing combos is to go into the practice settings and set their ground technique to side ukemi right or left. And this will just make it so that they tech. If there's ever an opportunity for them to, they will tech it. So you can see if you're like dropping your combo at all. Like I'll kind of let him roll there. So you kind of want to know if they have an opportunity to tech roll out of these combos. Let's go most complex to simple, okay? So we're going to start with his climbing dragon and his up forwards 4 because the combo routes are incredibly similar. His mountain crusher, which is his quarter circle forwards 2, is also falls into this category. You just have to kind of dash afterwards. You just have to dash, and then you can continue these strings I'm about to talk about. Okay, his most damaging one that I know of. Here's what the combo looks like. $81 damage. This can also be done off of his up forwards 4 hop kick. Okay, 2 easier combo routes that you can do. The first one looks like this. $77 damage, still very respectable. And if you want to make it even easier, then just remove the up forwards 3 when after the tornado, so it looked like this. You know, you lose some damage, but it is easier because doing this up forwards 3 can be tough if you input too many forwards inputs. You'll end up doing a wall running 3. So I do recommend after the tornadoes to always try and fit in that up forwards 3. There you go. There's an accidental input of a running 3. Okay, another combo route, and this one I found, and it's very easy because the inputs kind of stay the same throughout. Here we go. And then you would go into the standard finisher there. You kind of keep hitting the same buttons, which I like. $78 damage. Pretty good one. I'm going to rely on the input command history over on the left for you to learn these combos. Now we will talk about wall game and like the different extensions to get you to the wall. That's going to be the last section of this video is wall game. So let's continue his other launchers and what kind of combos you can get for them. So these have been like the climbing dragon, the hop kick, and here I'll do an example of the quarter circle forwards too and how you kind of have to dash in. Okay, and then another route out of that option would be this. For this variant, you don't have to run up at all, which is nice for that quarter circle forwards too. Nice. Okay, and then for this last one, you do have to run up, and this is that one that starts with a 3-3. Now, if you wanted to add a heat engager attack, you always want to do that when they're in their tornado animation. So if I just do a combo and they get into their tornado animation, that's where you would fit in your tornado attack, and then you can finish it up with something like that. Or if I can get close enough, the 3 into 1+2. Down back 2-2, my favorite is still the 3-3 variant. $62 damage, really good. Counter hit off of quarter circle forwards 1. I like the 3-3 combo again. $79 damage, super good. So let's hit 1-1 and then we'll do our 3-3 combo. $77 damage, really good. I believe there's other ways to do this 1-1. Yeah, okay, so here's where things get interesting, and this next combo will be used for things like your sidestep 4 or your down back 4. Okay, so here's another combo string. It also works off of this 1-1. You're going to run up and hit an up forwards 3 to start the combo. Okay, so let's try this. After that, you're going to hit a back 3, your knee. Okay, so up forwards 3, then knee. Then you're going to jab, and then you're going to finish the combo. Okay, so let's try this. Nice, 64 damage. Now, with this 1-1, I think that's the wrong one because we can get a screw attack. We didn't even do a screw attack in that combo. So instead of the finisher, let's do a move that will tornado. You have to run up and hit that up forwards 3, then that, then that, then this, and then that. And then this. 82 damage. Super nice. Now, let's talk about the sidestep 4. Okay? And doing that same kind of thing. Now, this is different because the screw attack has already happened. With your sidestep 4, with your down back 4, the screw attack happens immediately. So the combo route is more like a finisher with a shoulder or a 3 into 1+2. So let's try that out with a down back 4 first. There we go, 62 damage. Let's do it with a sidestep 4 now. Okay, 59 damage. And sidestep the other way. 59 damage. Another one out of these that you can do, like the back 4 and the sidestep 4, is to do this combo. $67 damage, so more damaging. The timing is incredibly tricky. It's very hard to pull off. You have to get little dashes at certain points in the string, and I can't exactly go over the exact microseconds of what to do, but I am definitely dashing after the final forward 4-3 to get the shoulder. I have to do like a little micro dash, and you'll see it in the command history. And the same combo will work for your sidestep 4s. 63 damage. Okay, other launchers, you have back Kempo 3. So this is another combo where this one works. $64 damage. This is one where this combo should work. 59, not quite as much damage, but more reliable. And there might be a more effective way to finish that one out. His 3 into 4 is a launcher, so if you ever hit them, you go, I like this combo extension. We're here on Rebel Hangar to go into Fang's wall game, which is an extremely fun part of playing Feng Wei, and I think his wall game is pretty good in this game. So to start, let's just talk about, like, if your opponent is on the wall, like splatted, what do you want to do? Okay, if we go into restart and do restart position wall, then anytime we restart, we'll be here at the wall. I'm just going to use his down forwards 2-2 as our wall splat option, just to get him wall splatted so we can talk about the wall game. Okay, he's on the wall splatted. What do you do? In Tekken 7, it was 1-3. 1-3 and then shoulder, okay? So it's wall splat, 1-3, shoulder. And you can see he's like slumping down. He wants to get on the ground, but the 1-3 keeps him up there so we can land that last shoulder, okay? So that's the general idea, is you want a 1-3. Now that was in Tekken 7. Fang has a new, more damaging option, and it's forward 3-2, right? It's like his climbing dragon, but instead of doing the 4, you do the 2. So instead of the 1-3, you do the forwards 3-2. So let's look at what that would look like. So we do our sidestep wall splat, and then we do forwards 3-2 into the shoulder. Okay, so it's like 1 or 2 extra damage rather than the 1-3 into the shoulder. And here's the thing. Sometimes you need to dash to the wall to do this 1-3 into shoulder. And that's where I don't like doing the forwards 3-2, because you risk doing a wall running 3, right? Because you have to double tap forwards to get to the wall. And then if you did a forwards 3-2, you risk doing that. So in situations where you have to just run up to them, I would just do the 1-3. You know, you run up 1-3 shoulder. If you like launch them to the wall, they're splatted and you got to get to them. But if you are at the wall or you just feel confident in your execution, then yes, his forwards 3-2 into shoulder is the way to go. Now let's cover one more thing. If your screw attack has not been used yet in this interaction, like for instance, none of these are screw attacks. So if we wall splat with down forwards 2-2, our screw attack is still available. You can do a screw attack to flip them up higher on the wall. Here we go. Down forwards 3. See, that's a new animation for Tekken 8. This opens up the wall game for more damage. So let's continue. Here we go. Down forwards 2-2 into down forwards 3. Into 1-3 shoulder. Now we're at 71 damage. You see that? So you could also do climbing dragon, like. But that is more laggy, so you don't get that shoulder afterwards. See that? So the down forwards 3, you do. So that's why you don't do the climbing dragon. Just if you still have the screw attack, do your down forwards 3. I guess you could do. That's pretty cool. Let me try that one out. So use your down forwards 3 as your screw attack. So this is another layer of the wall game, right? You're not just doing forwards 3-2 shoulder. if you have your screw option, then you want to flip them up and then hit your combo for that extra damage. Like if we did our sidestep 1+2 and then just did our forwards 3 to shoulder, then it is 52 damage. But if we add that down forwards 3 in, now we're at 61, and that's a pretty considerable amount of damage to add on. So you won't always have this down forwards 3 available, and that's if you were out here, you were comboing your opponent, and then you sent him to the wall with a move. Like you've already used your tornado attack in your combo, and then you sent him to the wall. You don't want to down forwards 3 because he won't do that animation anymore. So that's his general idea for his wall game, right? A unique case that I've found is if you are able to land a quarter circle forwards 2, his Mountain Crusher, they go very high up on the wall. And just a unique string that I've found for this is you can shoulder first and then do your flip up attack. So 76 damage. Super strong. So if you're ever able to land that, do the shoulder first, then that, then that. Okay, so that's the basis of his wall game. Let's talk about wall splats. You're at the wall. We'll talk about the combos and like how to launch them to the wall. But let's say you're at the wall, okay? First of all, his sidestep 1+2, we already talked about. I use this one a lot. It's a very good move to try and get them splatted on the wall. And then from there, you do your down forwards 3. Okay, we talked about down forwards 2-2. That's one of my favorites as well to wall splat. His heat engagers. So any of his heat engagers, like his forwards 1+2 will wall splat. His forwards 2 will wall splat. What else? His back Kempo 2 will wall splat. So his shoulder even will wall splat. Right, so any heat engager will wall splat, and then from there you can do that into combo, right? Okay, what other wall splats does he have? Okay, forwards 1+2. That will wall splat. On block it will not, but you know. Okay, little tangent here. And when you're in heat and they are blocking, so normally, your charged forwards 2 won't guarantee anything, right? They'll block your jab, they'll block anything. But if you're in heat and we do a fully charged forwards 1+2, then it will guard break at the wall and we're +11. Now this only works at the wall because if you do it out in the open, then they're too far away. But what you can do is get a guaranteed back 1, okay? So we enter heat, our forward 1+2 charge, and then we hit a back 1. That's a guaranteed wall splat. So it's like even if they're blocking, you can get a wall combo just by hitting your fully charged forward 1+2. Now this is more applicable when we combo them to the wall. They're on the ground, right? If I just put him on the ground, you can like start charging it while he's standing up, right? And then you hit your back 1, he's wall splatted, and then you can do your combo. That was a little tangent. Let's get back to more wall splats. If you ever hit his back 1, it'll wall splat. It won't wall splat on like normal, but like, you know, if you get your counter hit, then it wall splats for your wall combo. I could have done more damage there, huh? If I did this. Yeah. Okay. Like this is a wall splat. So down back 1 into 4. That will wall splat. You know, climbing dragon will send them up. So that's where you have to gauge like how much can I fit in here. Because I believe this is your tornado. Oh, it's not. So yeah, if you ever like, I don't see many scenarios where this would happen, but if you climbing dragon them, then you have some labbing to do to figure out how much damage you can get out of that. Like, could I do shoulder into down forwards 3? No, it's too late, right? So okay, could I do probably just that, right? Okay, so lows, like your sidesteps 2 is a wall splat, right? This is already your tornado attack, so you cannot like do the down forwards 3. It won't like send them up the wall. So after that, you just hit your forward 3, 2 into shoulder. And the same would be true about your down back 4, but you're just in crouch after your down back 4. So you got to be careful about that. If you know about crouch canceling, then you just hit a quick like sidestep and then go into your move if you wanted your while standing moves. Look up crouch canceling. So down back 4, sidestep, forward there, bam. Down back 2-2 will not wall splat. If you do get this one, you can just do a 3-3 into 4. Like 3-3-4. I guess that's like not a bad one. Okay, that's a good amount of options for your wall game. It kind of gets you thinking about what to do when you're at the wall with Feng. You want to get them wall splatted, then you want to hit your forwards 3-2 into shoulder for that big damage. Okay, now we get into the topic of wall carry during your combos. So I've positioned myself like way far away from the wall, and this is so that in the match, you know, if I was getting pressured at the wall and then I finally was able to parry my opponent away, now if I land a combo, I want to start thinking while I'm doing the combo, how far away is the wall? Because a combo will always get more damage if you can splat them on the wall at the end and then get your wall game. Your either just your 1-3 into shoulder or your forwards 3-2 into shoulder, right? So a lot of this really depends on when you land the tornado attack. And he goes flying and then lands. And at this point, you have different options to get him splatted. And that depends on how far from the wall you are. So I'm going to do a combo here. Okay, so there's an example. And what you'll see is that after the tornado attack, I did my down forwards 4 into 3. This move is not the most damaging combo finisher, but it sends them high to land on the wall, rather than doing a 3 into 1+2 or a forward 4 into 1+2. Okay, so that's like your furthest carry, and I think a climbing dragon will accomplish the same goal. So let's try that. It does. So there is like your furthest options, like you're very far from the wall. Your down forwards 4-3 and your climbing dragon will send them higher, right? If I just do a screw like this and I do my 3 into 1+2, it sends them far, but it doesn't send them high. So they'll slump down before you can get to them and do your wall combo finisher. Okay, now let's move a little closer, right? And save this location. I want him to like tornado and then be close to the wall now. It can be awkward at times. You're like, oh, how do I finish this? How do I get him splatted because he's so close to the wall? So let's try this. Yes. Back 3. Back 3 is like your medium distance, right? Okay, let's try it again. Boom. Big damage. Okay, so your back 3 is also a way to set them up for the wall so you can get your wall combo finisher. Okay, I made a record point here so we can try out some different ones. I've realized his down forwards 1 can get you there. That's like his closest one. If this guy was a little closer to the wall, see that? It kind of sends him away. So I would say if your down forwards 4-3 is like your max range 1, and your climbing dragon is your like max range 1, then your back 3 is like your middle range 1, and then his down forwards 1 is like his. Let me see if I can get this into a wall combo. You can. Oh, it didn't get the full, huh? Because it's so low. Yeah, so that's like why you would want to use this one. Because you do. It sets him up high enough that you can finish the combo. Now, if you have a combo going, and let's see, let's save this position. Let's say we got a climbing dragon off. You kind of want to like start your wall combo if they're floating near the wall, right? So like, I'm going to come back to here. If you just happen to land a climbing dragon here, you know, the full combo would be this, and then like you'd get, how much damage was that? They could have tech rolled out of that, I believe. So if they wake up Ukemi left, and then we do that same combo. right? So that's not a guaranteed combo. So you only got 49 damage there, right? Instead, when you're getting close to the wall, just start your wall combo. Forwards 3, 2 into shoulder. So I'm going to try that this time. 58 damage instead of 49. See, so if you're getting close to the wall, just start your wall combo. I guess that's my tip. 58 instead of, if I just continued the combo, just like trying to get damage, 49. So you almost added 10 damage. It's almost always beneficial, like 90% of the time, to get them to the wall. And that's why you'll see really good Feng players extending their combos with little jab strings, right? To get them even further so that they can finish them on the wall, right? I believe with this one, we could get our screw attack. So for this particular case, we could do something like this, right? 65. So again, just climbing the damage up. But, you know, this also applies for if you already did the tornado attack. So I hope this helped. I hope this helped, like, you know, think of how you can get them to the wall and then finish with either the forwards 3, 2 into shoulder or the 1, 3 into shoulder. Before I go, I want to mention some good Feng Wei resources for you guys to check out. So the first one is my favorite Feng Wei resource. This is Rai Shifter. On YouTube, he's at Ryanarta. So check him out. He has incredible Feng Wei combo strings and tech and gameplay. This guy is chock full of good knowledge. Man, he taught me that you get a guaranteed shoulder off of counter hit down forwards 1. So I can't shoulder after this, right? I'm gonna do a down forwards 1, counter hit, and then shoulder. It just gets immediately blocked. But what you can do, which Rai Shifter showed me, is do this, and then you have to be quick, but you can do a short dash and then a sidestep to shoulder their back while they're standing up, so they have no chance of blocking this. Counter hit down forwards 1 equals shoulder if you know the movement. So I'll show you what it looks like. Look at that. This is not as easy as I made it look. It's tough. So you have to do a micro dash forwards and then a full sidestep. Okay, so you do this, you do a micro dash forwards and then a full sidestep and then shoulder immediately. So here you go. And like, this is what it looks like if you fail. Right? It just wasn't, the sidestep wasn't full enough. And my tip for this is that the dash can be extremely small, but the sidestep has to be a full sidestep. So I'm going to just keep trying it. Got it. Got it. Got it, right? So Rai Shifter showed me this. So hey, check out his channel. Definitely check out Rai Shifter. Okay, next up is Dread Prince, at Dread Prince 1. He is just a high-level Feng Wei YouTuber, and it just incredible gameplay to watch. Much better than me, much better than most of us. So watch his gameplay and assimilate some of his techniques and kind of see what he's doing. And in the same vein, we have Titan Thor TV, and both of those two were recommended to me by a lot of the comments on the last guide. So thanks for showing me those two people. And the last resource, Feng Wei Discord, which I'll put a link to. These links will be available in the description as well. And as a final shout out, Loops9508, at Loops9508. He's not a Feng Wei content creator, but he is a Tekken 8 content creator, and his content is just very good. It's just like great fundamentals. He does it in a entertaining way. I can't recommend them enough. And I think he's doing a push for subscribers right now. So if you want to go check out Loops, I highly recommend it. Anytime a video comes out, I immediately watch it. It's great content. And with that, guys, this completes the second part of the Intermediate Feng Wei Guide. Thanks for waiting while I got all this information together, both from your comments, but also from some of these resources. I was able to record all this and get it done. The combos and wall game section, it's not my best work. I thought about re-recording it completely, but I got a busy February and March coming up with work, and I just wanted to get this video out. I may revisit them in the future to do like a really more in-depth combo and wall game guide, but yeah, I thought it was more important to get this guide out there right now so that you guys could all continue learning and improving. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your comments so much. And here's to our favorite character, Feng Wei. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, this is a bonus section, and this is how to look silly in a match. Let's say you come against a Yoshimitsu in like a player match, like a quick play match, and he decides to like start stabbing himself, and you just want to look funny as Feng Wei, okay? I got some tips for you. So first of all, just hitting back turned a bunch of times as you approach your opponent is a great way to look funny. You could definitely also get into back turned and then start spamming 1+2 to kind of get closer to your opponent. Another great tip to look ridiculous in your gameplay is to do the taunt while back turned. This will definitely get a laugh out of someone. You can't tell because you're looking the other way, but hopefully they're laughing. Don't forget that you have key charge. Key charging can be funny. So you have your normal key charge. But don't forget you can hold key charge to get more animation out. So check it out. This is his normal key charge. And this is if I hold down the button. And I'm going to keep holding it. Right? He did like 3 different things. And you can cut it off at each of the phases. So I can cut it off after the stomp. And then he won't do that like finger curl. But if I want to see that finger curl, then I just hold it down all the way. And then for added style, make sure you back turn and then do the key charge and hold it all the way. And they're just like, what the fuck is this guy looking at? So those are some good ways to look silly. Throwing out just a bunch of down back 2-2s can make you look ridiculous. And then also just like doing a bunch of 3-4s. Like to just, and like never stop doing it. That's also a good way to look silly. Don't sleep on doing a bunch of quarter circle forwards in a row. Just to, you know, show them like your mating dance. It's a good way to do it.